Welcome to Saturday Morning Meeting for Suppliers, presented by 8th and Walton, the premier destination for supplier development, and sponsored in part by Dun & Bradstreet Credibility Corp., the leading provider of credit and credibility solutions for businesses. I'm Andy Shook, and thank you for joining us. The retail terrain is changing, as is today's consumer. Suppliers who want to be successful have to change with both. Today's show is about helping you improve your business so you keep up with the pace of change. First, we meet Tad Wilson of Toshiba Global Commerce Solutions to learn 6 reasons consumers are now in control. And then Lori Oliver talks with Melinda Emerson, America's #1 small business lady. Melinda shares tips for small businesses and large suppliers, ways to assure your ongoing success regardless of changes to the retail terrain. And last is our brand new segment, Diversity in Retail. Dr. Adam Arroyos talks with Octavio Hinojosa Mier, president of the National Hispanic Corporate Council. Today, it's not just the preferences of consumers that are changing. Consumer demographics themselves are changing as well. Joining me today for 6 ideas in 6 minutes is Tad Wilson of Toshiba Global Commerce Solutions. The topic is consumers in control. So before we get started, Tad, quickly set the scene. Tell us what Toshiba Global Commerce Solutions does.
So Toshiba GCS, or Toshiba, is the world's largest provider of point-of-sale solutions and retail transaction technology. So what that means is when you check out of a store at a large grocery store or a high-volume retailer like Walmart, you're using our hardware and our software.
Okay, great. So we've got 6 ideas. Number 1 is digital shopping is huge, but growth is getting harder to come by. What does that mean?
So if you've been in retail for any time, there's no points for pointing out that e-commerce or web shopping is huge. But what we're starting to see is the growth curve is bending. So where it used to be double-digit growth, now we're seeing high single-digit year-over-year growth. We see this in the consumer research that we're doing, where consumers report flattening rates of shopping online. Not that it's shrinking or going away, but it's flattening out.
So are less people coming into it or are just less people using it?
I think as a percentage of spend, it's starting to hold steady. People know the categories where they want to buy, they know the types of missions that they want to fulfill online, and that's starting to stabilize. We've also had some recent challenges with fulfillment. So example, on Christmas 2013, when people ordered late, couldn't get their things, we're starting to bump up against those analog constraints of digital retail.
So number 2, in harder to reach segments, digital desire outstrips digital actualization.
Right, and so that's a fancy way of saying there are segments where people want to buy online.
Right.
And they just aren't.
And I think we all have those, right?
We all have those.
Yeah.
Like for example, I would love to go online and say, you know what, here's my aftershave, here's this, here's my medicine, and I go. But if I have a cold, I want that now. I don't care that I can save $2 and buy it from Amazon. I'm going to the local Walmart.
Okay.
Another example might be clothing. Some people are very comfortable buying online. Others say it needs to lay right. It has to have the right hand, the right color, the right texture. And oh, by the way, if I want to return it, I don't want to have to go through the reverse logistics.
Right. So number 3, in hardest segment, grocery digital is about personalization, not purchasing. Define that.
Grocery is one of those great examples of a very persistently store-intensive segment.
Yeah.
We talked a little bit about apparel and a little bit about health and beauty. Grocery is even farther off the charts in terms of, hey, people might be interested in buying online, but do they really believe that the person who's doing that picking is going to pick the freshest tomato or the best cut of meat or exactly the right ingredient for that recipe?
I think there are certain products within that grocery segment that you just don't trust that retailer to do it on a .com basis, right?
Absolutely. And we've seen that in countries where the penetration rate is higher. So if you look at the United States, about 1/3 of 1% of grocery category spend goes online. And almost all of that is from Ahold Peapod technology. If you go to the UK, 5% of grocery category spend is online. Retailers like Tesco and Asda have north of 7 or 8%.
So they've kind of broken through those trust barriers.
They've broken through the trust barriers, and the way they've done it is they've figured out for whom can I make a substitution and how do I make that? So if you give me your shopping list and I'm not sure exactly what I need to provide, I either make a good choice or I contact you in some way. They figured out how to replicate you better.
Yeah. So number 4, mobile is the linchpin of bridging digital and physical shopping.
So we talk a lot about m-commerce, and the picture we get is sometimes people buying on their phones. We think this is actually overstating it. M-commerce tends to be people buying on tablets, and somebody who's sitting in their house on a tablet is very different than somebody who is in the street or in their office or in a store on a phone. So phones are pervasive. They're heavily personal. They go everywhere with us. But if you look at the top uses of a phone in a shopping context, number 1 is find a store. I have a device that lets me shop anywhere. Let me get back inside the 4 walls.
Okay.
If you look at what's the number 1 use inside a store, it's to find price, to find the location of an item, or to get product reviews so I know I'm buying the right thing. It's really not about making the purchase on that mobile device. It's about using that mobile device as an equalizer for information.
Interesting. So you talked about shopping becoming pervasive. As it does that, brands must master context, not just reach.
Right. And this is a subtle point around, if you think about the technology that serves retailers. In the past, it's been fairly passive. So for example, if you go into a store, your interaction with the product and the brand is mostly in your control. And then when you get to the checkout, they're fielding the technology and you interact with through an associate. With mobile, there's a one-to-one relationship. You interact with the brand on your device, your software, but it's technology that they put out there that you access. We're going way to the other side of that distribution, where instead of lots and lots of people going through the same device or mobile taking that to one-to-one, now it's all the touch points in your home become a point for brand interaction. And this imposes a huge responsibility on the brands. So let's, for example, if you're at home and a brand says, I want to reach you, where you are in the house, what you're doing, what day it is, what time it is, all of these will influence how ready and willing you are to receive that brand message. So the importance of context imposes a huge responsibility on the brands to exercise it responsibly.
Wow, that's great. So number 6 is, in this digital cross-channel world, stores remain a competitive advantage.
Absolutely.
Still brick and mortar. They're still winning?
They are a critical part of a brand's mix of ways to reach consumers. If you look at most retailers that have stores and websites, the websites are getting the growth, but the stores are where the profit gets generated. The most profitable consumers for brands, though, are ones that jump across those channels.
Okay.
So I shop sometimes in the store, sometimes on the website, sometimes on my phone. And that's really a customer who's saying, I want to engage with the brand anywhere. There are things that are still better done in a store than in any other venue. Touch the product, sample the product, engage with an associate who may know more than I do. And this is an incredibly powerful point. Look at someone like Walmart. And Walmart is always described as being in this battle with Amazon. Walmart has 11 times the distribution capacity of Amazon in their stores and in their supply chain. They have 7 times the available to sell inventory. That is a competitive advantage.
So, Tad, thank you so much for coming in and shedding some light on today's consumer. That's it for 6 Ideas in 6 Minutes, Saturday morning meeting for suppliers. We'll be right back.
The CPG Toolbox Trade Planner. Trade promotion management in the cloud. For 1/10 the cost of on-premise TPM software, this cloud-based tool provides a full-function, closed-loop trade promotion management solution. You can even manage your food service or institutional contract and rebate funds in the cloud. Take a moment to view the CPG Toolbox Trade Planner demo. See for yourself how it can improve your trade promotion ROI and your bottom line.
GigWalk is transforming how work gets done. As the leading mobile workforce management platform, GigWalk provides companies with mobile tools and a data-driven approach to improving business efficiency. Leading brands and retailers use GigWalk to manage their field teams and to mobilize 750,000 GigWalkers to collect data intelligence about their business and brands. Are the shelves stocked? Are my products priced competitively? Are the correct promotions in place? Visit us at gigwalk.com to learn more. GigWalk, make work better.
Mach 1 Financial Group has moved to Bentonville. Now we're easier to find and even better equipped to assist you with your financial needs. Visit us at our new location, 408 North Walton Boulevard, and check out our state-of-the-art Lunch and Learn conference room.
8th and Walton can help you become a smarter supplier with webinars and classes, services like custom training, consulting, HR solutions, and staffing. Visit www.8thandwalton.com to find out how you can become a better partner to Walmart. Sales Analysts. Build your skills fast with 8th and Walton's core classes. Order them together and save 10%. Go to 8thandwalton.com/classes now.
I'm Loria Oliver, and welcome to Retail Her. Today, I'm talking to Melinda Emerson, also known as America's #1 small business lady. Welcome, Melinda.
Thank you so much for having me.
So, Melinda, I know we have a lot of suppliers that watch our show, and they're probably sitting there wondering, you have such a great social media following. You're so well knowledgeable about social media. What tips can you give to them who are struggling in that arena?
Well, the first thing I would tell anyone that wants to get started with social media is that they really only need to focus on one social media platform at a time. A lot of people are not being affected with social media because they're killing themselves doing Facebook, Pinterest, Google+, LinkedIn, Snapchat, Periscope. Just stop. Figure out the place where your best target customer spends the majority of their time online, and then you need to focus on that social media platform too. The second thing I would say is, as you are getting started with social media, you have to use what I call the help mantra. Okay. So the first thing I want you to do is only share helpful information, period. Don't be out here bashing customers, bashing competitors. All I want you to do is be helpful, add value to the conversation. The second thing I want you to do is engage people. Right? It's still about like, know, and trust, even online. Right. And when you meet somebody face to face, it takes 3 interactions to turn that interaction into commerce. Well, online, it's at least 7. And I've seen estimates as high as 21 quality interactions. So you have to thank people for sharing your content, engage with people, learn some people's names. You've got to show up consistently online to become a trusted resource. The third thing I want you to do is listen carefully. Don't assume you know the culture of the different social media sites. Facebook people do not want to be communicated to like they're Twitter people. Right. They don't like all that hashtag stuff we do over on Twitter. And then the last thing I want you to do is promote yourself with care. Nobody wants to be sold to, and they especially don't want to be sold to online. So I want you to share other people's content at a 4-to-1 ratio of your own. So be sweet and retweet other people's stuff. That's what I want you to do, because what you want to do when you first start using social media is friend raise. So if you want friends, you must be friendly, right?
I guess so.
That's how it works in social media.
Yeah. Also, what about for a small business owner who is struggling right now, on the brink of failure or afraid of failure? What tips would you have for them to kind of turn things around?
Well, there's really 5 reasons why small businesses fail to me. The number 1 reason is because people weren't realistic about what their life was going to be like running their business. They thought some magic fairy was going to come and unlock the door every day at their business. So I want you to really focus on why you started this business, right? The second reason why small businesses fail is because people have no network to sell to. 90% of all small businesses get business from referrals. So it is really about building your network long before you need them. Nobody wants to hear from someone they haven't talked to in 3 years and wants to sell them something, right? So make sure you nurture your network before you need them. Okay. The third reason why small businesses fail is because every small business owner I know wants to chase new business. Small business lady, how can I get new customers? Is like the most common question that I have emailed. Here's a news flash for you. How about you try to keep the customers you already have? Work on nurturing your customers. Use email to keep in touch. Value your customers. Thank them. Call them. Get feedback from them. They are your best possible source for more revenue, because anybody will buy something once, but the goal is to get them to buy it over and over again. Right. So focus on your existing customers. The fourth thing I want you to do is have a specific customer that you're going after. If everybody can use your product or service, nobody will. So you've got to have a specific niche target customer, and you've got to make sure that you specialize in solving that customer's problem, right? Because who makes more money, your cardiologist or your primary care physician?
The cardiologist.
Right. So you better be trying to figure out how to be the cardiologist for what you do.
Okay.
Right? Because they get to charge more money.
Yeah.
Cardiologists drive Lamborghinis, you know?
How do you feel about small businesses using focus groups to do that? Is that a good way to narrow it down?
I think small businesses should absolutely do focus groups. But you know what? You can do them online.
Okay.
You can do them on Facebook or Twitter. All you need to do is people love to give you their opinion.
Right.
So ask them for it. And don't be afraid to give them some little incentive for doing it. It could be an ebook, a product sample, whatever. But get feedback. Don't just go on your opinion and your mama's opinion. That's not enough information for you to be in business and stay in business. Right. And then the last reason why small businesses fail, and this is probably the most deadly reason, if you don't manage your household with a budget, you will not manage your business with one. Mm-hmm. And successful businesses are run based on up-to-date financial information.
Okay.
By the 15th of the month, you need to know how well your business did last month so that you can make adjustments. Mm-hmm. You can figure out what you got to do. And I don't believe in these annual sales goals. I believe in 30-day sales goals, because if you know how much money you got to make this month, you know how much money you got to make this week.
Right.
And so that's what you got to focus on. Don't let your fear of math be the reason why you don't know what's really going on in your business. So it's all about the numbers, because profit is how we keep score in business.
Well, great advice. Thank you so much again.
You're welcome.
Finally, our last question on Retell Her, one of my very favorite, is we have a photo of you as a young girl. Looking back on that young girl today, what tips would you tell her on how to navigate this life?
You know, if I had an opportunity to have a conversation with myself when I was a little girl, there's a couple of things I would say. Number one is a good idea is still a good idea 3 weeks from now. Mm. You know, be patient. And what God has for you is for you, and no one else will ever be able to take that away from you. Mm-hmm. The other thing I would just say is that don't sweat the small stuff, and everything's small.
Right. I agree with that.
That is really, sitting here now, that is advice I wish, everything is actually going to be okay. Mm-hmm. That's it. That's what I would tell myself.
Well, thank you so much for being here today, Melinda. How can people find more information about you?
If you want to interact with me, I answer small business questions live every Wednesday night from 8 to 9 p.m. Eastern on Twitter. All you have to do is use my hashtag, which is #SmallBizChat. And if you want to connect with me, I am Small Biz Lady on Twitter and Facebook.
Okay, and also don't be afraid to pick up Melinda's book, Become Your Own Boss in 12 Months. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here.
Retail Solutions is the market leader helping advance reporting and analytics with Walmart suppliers around the globe. We manage the data for you, automate data integration, attribution, and reports, and then help you focus on activities that will drive the most value. To do this, RSI works with you to perform a business value assessment to identify the largest value opportunities in your business. If improving results in sales through better insights and execution and efficiencies are important to you, contact RSI today.
K-Stack, the leader in collaborative retail consolidation programs. We offer the supply chain expertise needed to navigate the challenges of selling products with the world's largest retailers. And we provide customers with a customizable, scalable, environmentally sustainable supply chain with the same advanced technology typically used by larger rivals. By leveling the playing field, K-Stack lowers distribution costs and increases overall margins. K-Stack, retail logistics is what we do.
Bentonville Commerce, less than 1 mile from the Walmart home office. You'll love the convenience, amenities, and customized options Bentonville Commerce offers. For more information or a tour, call 479-200-1112 today.
My colleagues and I were lucky enough to have a custom course put together for us by Ethan Walton and Iris, our instructor. It focused on all the different aspects of what an analyst might need from retailing to work with Walmart. I think what surprised me most is that there were so many things that I had not been using in Retail Inc. that would be valuable for me and that I hadn't attempted to use yet. And also just some tips and shortcuts. Iris has a lot of experience, and she knows how to help you find things that are going to help you do your work.
Welcome to Diversity in Retail, a new segment of our Saturday morning meeting for Supplier Show. I'm your host, Adam Arroyos, and I look forward to bringing you lots of great guests, insights, best practices, and just a whole lot of fun discussion. My guest today is Octavio Hinojosa. He is the Executive Director of the National Hispanic Corporate Council, otherwise known as NHCC. Welcome, Octavio.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm honored to be here with you today.
Well, thank you. I very much appreciate you being a part of our first segment. Octavio's here today to tell us a little bit about his organization, as well as an upcoming summit that they'll be hosted here in Northwest Arkansas. So, Octavio, let's kick it off here. So, sure. First question. Mm-hmm. Tell us a little bit about what is NHCC, the history, right, the mission, and who are some of the organizations that are members of the organization?
Absolutely. Well, the National Hispanic Corporate Council is a nonprofit organization based in Washington, D.C. It was founded back in 1986 by a group of 11 senior executives from 11 different Fortune 1000 companies at the time, who saw that there was a need to put together an organization that would help provide resources for corporate America to better understand the Hispanic market opportunity before them. So certainly we're talking about the mid-'80s, the Hispanic domestic market was perhaps a few $100 billion strong. Today in 2015, we are now the second largest economy domestically in the country. And so what we offer our corporate members are best practices and resources in the areas of human resources, right, supplier diversity, marketing, community relations, and executive development. So among our members, our corporate members include companies from the size of Walmart, Tyson Foods, other companies such as Coca-Cola, Shell, Boeing, Wells Fargo Bank. So we have a diverse representation of companies from different industries, some also competing within the same industry, and that provides for a very enriching exchange of ideas and best practices.
So, Octavio, as we think about why it's important, right, for our local supplier community to really, find a way to get ahead in understanding how to leverage diversity to obviously be able to grow their business, give me some perspective in terms of just within the Latino community, which is the community the organization specializes in. How big is that buying power within the U.S.?
No, great question. Well, today the U.S. Hispanic market is estimated to be at $1.5 trillion strong.
$1.5 trillion.
$1.5 trillion. To give it, put that in context, if you look at the economy as compared to other national economies, the U.S. Hispanic community is as large as Canada's domestic economy. In other words, companies looking at the Hispanic market for opportunities, not just in growth, but certainly in the area of suppliers, can look at the Hispanic market as a long-term investment for future sustainability and profitability. And so with a market potential of $1.5 trillion, the question that we must ask ourselves, are we really leveraging all of our best resources, talents, and creative thinking to really maximize the opportunities that are found in the Hispanic market, which is why an organization such as ours, NHCC, exists and serves it as an important resource for not just our corporate members, but certainly for suppliers to better be able to connect and understand what those opportunities are. What are those latest trends, and more importantly, what are those latest corporate best practices that can be implemented effectively to maximize profitability for everyone?
Absolutely, that's amazing. So, wow, larger than the size of the buying power within Canada, a whole country. So literally, you have a country within a country, huge opportunity.
Correct, yes.
And do you see any reason why that's going to stop growing?
No, absolutely not. I mean, certainly right now what we're seeing, not just within the Hispanic domestic market, but certainly all other demographic groups within our country are certainly contributing to our day-to-day economic vitality. But certainly by the year 2030, it's estimated that even our domestic minority consumer market is going to hit the $3 trillion mark.
$3 trillion, wow.
So from the vantage point of a company that is interested in really maximizing their supplier diversity efforts, it's essential to have this as part of their day-to-day strategy, not just for sustainability, for competitiveness, but more importantly for future profit growth.
So I understand that thanks to Walmart and thanks to Tyson Foods is serving as co-host for your organization's upcoming summit. I believe is on the 20th and 21st of this month. Very excited. We look forward to welcoming you here to Northwest Arkansas. But I understand that based on what you've learned, you've invested a lot of time here on the ground, you and your team, and you learned that a big part of our business community here in Northwest Arkansas is our supplier community. Sure. So much so that you've decided to dedicate an entire B2B track just for the supplier community. Tell us about what exactly that is and how the supplier community can participate, take advantage of that opportunity.
Absolutely. Well, as I mentioned previously, our organization offers resources. We offer opportunities for networking, and one of the key ways that we provide value for our corporate members is by organizing biannual member summits. These are conferences that we organize twice a year, spring and fall, and it just so happens that our 2015 NHCC Spring Summit is taking place here in Northwest Arkansas. And the reason is, as you just stated, this is a very interesting market, not just because of its growth in the recent years, but certainly because of the huge presence of Fortune 1000 companies or other companies that do business with the Walmarts or with Tyson's.
And I also understand that you have a great offer that you'd like to share with our audience here today. And won't you tell us exactly what that is and see how they can take advantage of it?
Absolutely. Again, we're delighted to be here in the Northwest Arkansas region, and we want to invite your supplier community to also have a presence and be part of our upcoming 2015 NHCC Spring Summit. So for those guests, for members of the audience who would like to join us, we encourage that the first 20 who do express an interest in being and registering to please email you, and we'll go ahead and certainly follow up and extend that complimentary registration to attend.
So I do invite the first 20 of you to please send me an email. My email is listed there on the screen. I look forward to receiving it. And as soon as I do receive your email, I'll make sure that you are registered and your registration is confirmed for this upcoming summit. Once again, thank you so very much, Octavio. I appreciate your time. And thank you once again for your time here in Northwest Arkansas and for investing in our supplier community. That concludes our segment. The Saturday morning meeting for suppliers will be right back.
K-Stack, the leader in collaborative retail consolidation programs. We offer the supply chain expertise needed to navigate the challenges of selling products with the world's largest retailers. And we provide customers with a customizable, scalable, environmentally sustainable supply chain with the same advanced technology typically used by larger rivals. By leveling the playing field, K-Stack lowers distribution costs and increases overall margins. K-Stack, retail logistics is what we do. Bentonville Plaza, across the street from the Walmart home office. The best office location offers proximity and services like no other business complex in the area. Call 479-200-1112 today.
GigWalk is transforming how work gets done. As the leading mobile workforce management platform, GigWalk provides companies with mobile tools and a data-driven approach to improving business efficiency. Leading brands and retailers use GigWalk to manage their field teams and to mobilize 750,000 GigWalkers to collect data intelligence about their business and brands. Are the shelves stocked? Are my products priced competitively? Are the correct promotions in place? Visit us at gigwalk.com to learn more. GigWalk, make work better.
You might have heard the buzz lately about Walmart's upcoming U.S. Manufacturing Open Call. Our next special centers around this event. We'll bring you suppliers from last year's Open Call to see how their businesses were impacted. And we'll share some tips on how to have a successful buyers meeting this year. Thank you to all of today's guests for their insights and inspiration. From all of us at Saturday Morning Meeting for Suppliers, thanks for watching.